Dear friends, colleagues, I congratulate you on the Day of Russia. We celebrate this holiday with a warm, sincere attitude to our motherland, with pride for the grandiose labor and military achievements of many generations of our ancestors, with respect for the key events in the national history, and of course with the understanding that all the stages of more than 1,000-year path of our state are one single whole, a deep, personal perception of Russia in the character of our people for which unity and patriotism have always been the main values, help to overcome all difficulties, defeat enemies, and build, create our country, preserve our historical and cultural heritage. Dear friends, a sincere sense of responsibility for the fatherland is close to each of us, and for the participants of special military operations, this is a reliable spiritual support, as well as the support of our heroes to all Russian peoples, to all societies. We all have common goals, courage, and perseverance in their achievements, inherent in everyone who will be awarded high awards today. First of all, I will name those who deserve the title of Hero of Labor. Alexander Batalin has been the head of the famous Simferopol plant Fiolant for more than 40 years. Under his leadership, the enterprise maintains high standards of its own scientific design school, provides for the production of demanded products of both civilian and double purpose for state defense orders, creates reliable systems for the life support of manned spacecraft, making life of Leonid Sergeyevich B.V. Its developments confirm the leading positions of Russian science are successfully applied at the International Space Station. Reliability and responsibility are the main features of the character of Vladimir Nikolaevich Danilov, the engineer of the Ural-Kali Mining Company. Behind his shoulders is a huge experience, in which he generously shares with young specialists. Alexander Borisovich Kolesnichenko achieved significant results in the agricultural sector. With his many years of work and readiness to make new decisions, he proves how successful a modern agri-industrial enterprise can be. The talent of Marina Vseslavovna Neolova, her bright individuality, the ability to deeply psychologically reincarnate, have won the hearts of viewers of different generations. In the theater and in the cinema, her roles have become a real event, and her skill and dedication serve as a guide for the entire theatrical community. Nikolai Alexandrovich Rousseau went from an ordinary master to the head of one of the leading bridge-building enterprises in the country. He dedicates all his strength, knowledge, and energy to the implementation of engineering projects that transform Russian regions, reveal their economic potential, and work in the interests of strategic development of Russia. Anatoly Semenovich Sviridov is an exceptional example of loyalty to his vocation. A high-class turner and universalist, he continues the many-year-old traditions of manual skill, skillfully combines them with the requirements of modern production. Among those who were awarded the Medal of a Hero of Labor today is the legendary designer-armorer Pyotr Ivanovich Serdyukov. For his long professional life, he has created a number of unique samples of firearms and special equipment that have increased the effectiveness of the Army and Special Forces. The rector of the Moscow University of Lomonosov, Viktor Anatolyevich Antonovich Sadovnich, a man of broad scientific erudition, large-scale thinking, the ability to see the future and quickly implement the idea, he has been the head of the country's flagship university for more than 30 years. He has made a huge contribution to the preservation of the best traditions of fundamental and classical education, to the strengthening of the position of the Moscow University as one of the leading centers of enlightenment, intellectual, and spiritual development of Russia. In general, the formation of strategic directions of the domestic high school. Under the leadership of Viktor Anatolyevich, a number of significant initiatives for the development, popularization, and mathematical knowledge have been implemented. And of course, special respect is earned by his many years of work as head of the Russian Union of Rectors. Today, we also have representatives from various areas of scientific research. So, the largest Orientalist and Africanist, Alexei Mikhailovich Vasilyev, in his fundamental generalizing work, combined the rich experience of an international journalist with deep scientific analysis, reflected the essence of complex, multifaceted processes taking place in the countries of the Middle East and the Middle East. The books and articles of Alexei Mikhailovich, his unique knowledge, are in demand and important, first of all, for the strengthening of mutual understanding between nations. Neurosurgeons Nikolai Alexandrovich Konovalov, Vladimir Viktorovich Krylov, and Dmitry Yuryevich Usachev have developed and implemented in broad practice high-precision operations on the head and spinal cord. In fact, they have formed a modern school of domestic neurosurgery. Qualified specialists are already being prepared at its base, and, most importantly, the number of operations saving human lives is growing. Thanks to the work of our scientists, significant changes have taken place in the Russian oil and gas sector. The first complex in the country has been created to increase the efficiency of extraction based on the hydraulic belt-breaking technology. This is our own critically important equipment, developed under the leadership of Oleg Zhdaniev, Igor Kovshov, Elena Korsa-Vavilova. Dear friends, the creativity of the current laureates in the field of literature and art unites the theme of the history of the Russian state and the pride for its achievements. The understanding that the strength of the fatherland is in the continuity of traditions, in respect for its heritage and great culture. More than 10 years have been devoted to the creation of educational projects on the most important periods in the history of the country, on its heroes and creators. The producer of the Moschino film studio, Ekaterina Vladimirovna Zhukova, and the producer of the Russian TV channel Maria Viktorovna Ushakova. Each of their works is based on facts and has a dynamic, captivating plot. With their works, they prove that cinema can and should serve as an enlightenment. The integrity of the past, present, and future is reflected in the creativity of the brilliant director and screenwriter Andrei Sergeyevich Mikhalkov-Konchalovsky. Through the images of domestic classics and reflections on modernity, through the fates of people and large-scale artistic canvases, he reveals to the world the value of our culture. Своими произведениями они доказывают, что кино может и должно служить просвещению. Its character, memory, and spiritual strength inspire us to be faithful to our origins. Alexei Yuryevich Zarov, the chief physician of the Clinical Hospital of Alexei, the Metropolitan of Moscow, was awarded the award in the field of charity. In recent years, one of the directions of this multifaceted church hospital has been to care for the seriously ill. This experience was fully demanded during a special military operation. Alexei Yuryevich and his colleagues organized 2 mobile hospitals. In the first hospital, surgeons and therapists admitted more than 5,000 patients. The second hospital played an important role in overcoming the humanitarian catastrophe after the destruction of the Kharkov GES in the Kherson region. The training centers created by Alexei Yuryevich in Simferopol and Sevastopol have trained 8,000 nurses, and the medical nurseries in Gorlovka, Makayevka, Luhansk, Donetsk, and other cities provide assistance to the residents of our historical regions. Alexei Yuryevich is not only an organizer of patronage brigades for professional care, but also, as he himself says, for the service of the sick and wounded. Undoubtedly, he is a follower, devoted to his cause. To be where it is difficult and with those who find it difficult to defend justice, to take responsibility for the main features of Tatiana Nikolaevna Moskalkova, the laureate of the Award for Human Rights Activism. Her work at the post of a person in charge of human rights in Russia is an example of a worthy service to the people and the fatherland. From the very beginning of the special military operation, her priority was the support of servicemen, their families, as well as civilians who were injured in the course of hostilities. She worked and worked successfully to comply with the constitutional guarantees of the citizens of Russia. Dear friends, the peak you have reached is dominated by people who are humble, strong, and generous, for whom work and profession become the meaning of your life. I sincerely thank each of you and congratulate you with high state awards. Thank you very much.